Hey guys, so I thought I would take a break from my birthday party shindigs to give you guys a first premiere episode of Health and Fitness Fridays. So I'll be trying to get these out every Friday for the next little while, at least over the summer period. When I get back to school, it might be every other Friday, and we'll see how that goes. So today I'm just going to give you a little background information. I'll see how much I can get into in the short period of time granted to me by my family. So, the reason that I'm starting these episodes is because I feel that people don't know as much as they should about health and nutrition and just like fitness in general, because there are a lot of people who, for different reasons, don't live the healthiest lifestyle. And so maybe if you're one of them, or you want to make a change, because I know sometimes it's the difficultness in making that change that's the hardest, but once you do it, then you wonder how it took you so long to do it. My dad is very health oriented, as is one of my cousins, who I would like to feature on a Health and Fitness Friday. So we'll see how that goes. But I think that there are definitely some things in the population's diet today that should not be there, and they should be reduced or eradicated completely. And the people are making slow steps themselves, but there are groups who are stepping up towards the government and saying, look here, this is what you have to do. And they've made some progress. One thing I've learned in a little bit of research I was going to do for this episode, which I might try to include later on, is that according to the Health Canada website that I was on, that nutrition labeling became mandatory for all prepackaged foods on December 12th, 2007. That was only in the last 4 years, I believe. So 16 years of my 20 years had unlabeled food. And that amazes me. Like, I am so shocked by that we went for so long without knowing this stuff. So companies are being pressured by the government and other groups to show all the nutrition information, like all the good stuff and all the bad stuff, because we need to know. Like, it's important. It helps us make better decisions with our food. So with my dad being how he is with food, I definitely have made a huge switch in food since I was younger. When I was little, I got to have Lucky Charms, and I wasn't questioned for it. Now, if I look at anything other than like High Nut Cheerios or Life, it's like the end of the world. Like, I can't have it. It's not good. And, I rebel sometimes, and like, if I'm chilling with my friends, we'll have like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or French toast and something ridiculous like that. But I don't really mind. Like, even Honey Nut Cheerios are too sugary. Like, they're better for you, but they're still sugary. So you can't really, you can win, but if you have a mentality, if people, like, even growing up in my generation, we love sugary stuff. We love stuff filled with sodium, which is another thing that needs to go away. So companies put sodium in everything. Like, it's ridiculous. We don't need it in some of the stuff. Like, if it's natural salt, that's fine. Just like if it's natural sugar, that's fine. When you get into artificial and, like, pouring it in, it's gross. I don't add salt to anything I eat. Smokers, and I know many of you, you lose your taste buds, which is why you add salt. If you ever wondered why you have salt on everything, because you can't taste it, it's because you smoke. And I will probably cover an entire episode on smoking later, but I condone it. I condone smoking anything. No. But anyways, so for this first episode, I guess I will go into a little bit of what I planned. I wasn't sure how long I would be granted, and I've already been interrupted twice, but that's alright. So I'm just going to talk about nutrition labeling. I have some notes, so if you see me looking down and reading things, that's why. So you all know nutrition labeling is just to give information on food and what you're eating and what's in this package. And so the nutrition facts table is what it's called. There's also lists of ingredients underneath of that, which is also something you need to really look at, because the nutrition table might not have a lot of information, like it might be like high in something, but everything else is kind of mediocre. And then you go into the ingredients list, and the first 3 or 4 things are all different sugars. Yeah, put the bottle down, put the food down, and walk away. And like I said, this might be challenging, but it needs to be done. So that table gives you information about the calories, the 13 core nutrients that are in the food or possibly lacking from the food, and it also gives you a daily value percentage, which is important. And so all of the information on that chart is based on a specific amount of the food. So it's not just the whole container. It could be for half a tablespoon or 3 cups, or in the case of like crackers and like little nibblies, it could be like per 9 or 11 crackers or 23 chips. So it can go in grams, cups, it can go in a wide range of measurements, but you really need to be careful about that, because if it says for half a teaspoon or for a teaspoon, and your usually helping of it is like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, whatever the value is, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to multiply so much because you're not eating it by the value that's dictated on the table. So that's another thing. And like I'm not a professional. I'm not. But I've learned enough through my dad, and I'm health conscious, so I'm a little more savvy, I suppose. And that's, again, just me saying it. Like, I'm not telling you that you need to stop this and work out like that. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. I'm just trying to help you guys learn what you need to do when you get food, just to help you when you go shopping. And I'm sure none of you are going to fight me against this. Like, no one's going to accuse me of trying to push off this stuff on somebody. This is my opinion alone, based on facts and based on stuff that you guys can find yourselves. So I'll also post the Canada Health link below. I just actually Googled like nutrition labeling and like nutrition facts on boxes, and you'll get redirected to the site. In the States, I'm not sure what you guys would have as a comparison website. I don't know if you have a Health USA, but it's easy enough to Google, but you really have to make sure that you are going to credential websites, because like if I went on my website and was like, oh, sodium's great for you, and you believed it, well, that's your own fault. I'm not a professional. So like I said, just make sure you're really looking into where you're getting the information from. So, what is the nutrition facts table? It gives you all the information I mentioned, the 13 core nutrients, the ingredients list as well as underneath of it, and the daily value. Anyways, this is what a nutrition table looks like, although I'm sure you all know what they look like. It looks something like that, and pardon my printer for dying on me. But yeah, so when you see that, it'll say nutrition facts right up top, big bold letters, and then right underneath of it, it'll tell you per how much. So the example they have here is per 3/4 of a cup, or 175 grams. And then it has one column as amount and the other column as percentage value. And so this is usually how it reads off, usually in this order, is calories, fat. Fat is broken down into saturated and trans fat. Sometimes they'll put an omega-3 or omega count in there. Then there's cholesterol, sodium, carbs, fiber, sugar, protein. And then the section underneath that goes into vitamins and stuff like that. So calcium, iron, vitamin A, C, B, K, any of those. And so this table will help you choose between 2 products. So in one of the other handouts I have, there is a comparison about crackers and which one you think would be better than the other. So if I look to you for that one. So I'll just show it to you here. I'm not sure how much you're able to read of that. But anyway, so it just gives you a breakdown of what the calories are, the measurements, and stuff like that. And if you're reading it, it'll tell you, like just by reading the information, you'll know which one's better than the other. But with reading the percentage DV, is what I'm going to call it, 5% or less is little. 15% or more is a lot. And you're looking at that for 2 things. The good stuff, you want more of. So you want more fiber, more calcium, stuff like that. You want less sodium and less salt. So you have to think of this little, let's see if I have a picture of it, a little diagram like that. This kind of spells it out. So keeping that in mind, keep it in mind when you're looking, and that'll help you decide this one's good and this one's not. So some things you want less of are fat, saturated and trans fats, sodium, sugar, and then stuff you want more of would be like fiber, iron, vitamin A, calcium, stuff like that. Sodium is usually, like I said, through the roof. There are some soups that have over 1,000 milligrams of salt. So when you're looking at sodium, I can tell you this, something my dad taught me. When you're looking at the table, if the sodium is 5% or less, just like this diagram, it's all right. So this is your total daily value. It's not just like of this meal. So if you're having something that's 12% of your daily need, and you have like 6 meals after, like throughout the day that are like 20, 30, 40%, which is quite possible. If you look at some labels, I kid you not, you will just shake your head and go, why? And so when you add those all up, you're over 100%. And what's it doing for you? It's doing absolutely nothing. So guys, if you take anything from this episode, please remember 5% little, 15% lot. And then obviously what's good and what's bad. So if I have anything else to add from this, it's just that, let me see, some things that don't have labels, that aren't required to have this breakdown, is because they're better anyways, in some cases. A couple things on this list aren't so great. So fresh vegetables and fruits, they're not going to have that. You can Google them, but really, they're not really high in anything. Like, it's all natural stuff. You do have to watch out for pesticides, but that's a whole different video. Raw meat and poultry isn't labeled unless it's ground. So when you go and get like ground beef or ground turkey for like burgers and stuff, you'll see a nutrition table. It's usually right beside the big price tag. Raw fish and seafood, obviously not going to have any. You're not going to slap a label on a lobster and be like, there you go. Foods that contain very few nutrients like coffee, tea, herbs, spices, that stuff doesn't have a lot of anything. So there's really no point in being like, okay, 1 calorie, and that's it. No salt, no soda, like nothing like that. And then the last one on the list is alcoholic beverages. A lot of them, like if you're getting coolers and stuff like that, will be really high in sugar. If you do mixed drinks, they're pretty bad for you. I'm sure you've all seen ads in magazines where you see like the 67 cal Canadian versus like 1 martini. And you'll see like the glass is like this big for the beer, and the martini is like this big because the calories are hugely different. So I'm going to give you guys a little outline of what else I expect to do with this video, just for nutrition wise. Like I said, this will also cover fitness, and I'm also going to have a fitness vlog because I need to get off my butt and work out a little bit more. So I'll give you guys a heads up about that. I did a little bit of stuff this week, just little at-home exercises because I haven't been able to get to my gym because I've been working a lot. But some of the other things that I plan on filming in the next little while, sorry, I'm looking over my computer because I can see my family staring at me. I'm going to talk about calories, fat, cholesterol is always a good thing to know about, as well as other things like sodium, bad, carbs, and how some people think you should go carbless if you want to lose weight, and some people are just like, eat it just in moderation, because moderation is usually key. And just other things that are on the food label, like fiber, why you need fiber, and fiber is good for you, roughage and all that jazz, all that goodness. So, oh, and the final one would definitely be sugar. So I would definitely recommend tuning in again next Friday, and hopefully I can get through a little bit more because I won't have such a long intro. And hope you Canadians are enjoying your Canada Day. And to all the Americans, I hope you guys have a great long weekend for Independence Day. So I'm going to get back to my birthday extravaganza, and I'll talk to you guys later.